Hello from Scotland, everybody, and welcome to week 3 of EDU6550. I'm coming to you this evening from our townhome in Scotland up in Perth. It's about an hour north of Edinburgh, and we're here for a couple more days. We actually leave on Tuesday, the start of our next week, to head over to Ireland. And I'm going to hopefully get this video uploaded tonight, as our internet here has been horrible, and I'm hoping in Ireland it will be a whole lot better. I'm going to be testing the internet out because, again, week 3 starts our data chats on Wednesday the 11th and Sunday the 15th. So on Tuesday, when we get to our house in Ireland, I'm going to test out the Wi-Fi there and make sure this is something we can do for our online chat. If not, I'll be sending out information about an alternate method for us to communicate. So please keep tuned to that piece. Check your email and everything else on Monday of next week. So a lot of stuff going on, a lot of things that we're going to be doing. And I wanted to go over week 3 with you and give you some information and updated things going on for week 3. Before we get to that point, it's really important that you finish up the week 2 assignments, and that is going to be those discussion posts. You have to do 2 responses. I saw some of you have done them already. That's great. I'll be working on grading. In fact, I'm going to probably head out of here to a local pub somewhere, not to drink, but to get some better Wi-Fi so I can upload this video and also grade your work this evening. That's really important. Again, those response posts are due by Monday at 11:55 p.m. And I know it's only 4:14 where you guys are, or 4:15 where you guys are. It's already after 9 o'clock here and starting to get a little bit darker, but it really doesn't get dark until after 10:30, which is kind of crazy. The other thing you want to make sure you do this week is you upload proof that you can do the WCG assignments, a copy of the tutorial, show me you can log in. All you're doing is uploading a copy of that to the portal itself. That is it for week number 2. So we're going to talk now about week number 3, which will start on Tuesday of this week. And like I said before, I'll be traveling during that time. And so I want you to be aware and cognizant of the things going on for week 3. And the first thing you want to be cognizant about is getting through Leverage Leadership Chapter 1. So we're switching books now. We spent the first couple weeks in the DataWise book, got a lot of good information out of that. And we're moving over to the Leverage Leadership book for week number 3. You're just reading Chapter 1, and then you're doing the discussion forum. Again, please try to make sure by Friday or Saturday that you have your initial post there responding to my questions that are posted for you already. You can access that right now if you're ahead. If you're ahead, great. Go ahead and do that. Your response posts, 2 of them will be due by the following Monday, which is the 16th. So again, that same structure we're going to have throughout the entire summer. That the 1 week you're going to do, by the end of the week, you're going to do the actual initial post, and then by the following Monday, the response post. Also in week number 3 is a WCG student learning results. That's that little assessment piece you do in WCG, and all you do is upload for me the actual results. And that's going to go both in Chalk and Wire and in the portal. So both assignments are going to go there, the learning results. If you actually log in through the portal, click on the assignment, it should take you right to Chalk and Wire to log in there and get that put in. The other thing is going to be the data chat. And what I've attached to this email is the data chat information, the document we're going to actually talk about and discuss during the data chat. So your homework is to review this document, and what's on there is a set of data, and I've got 4 of them, 1 for each of the next 4 weeks. And we're going to talk about that data live as opposed to trying to type to each other. I want to have a real open conversation. I want to talk about data with you. If you really dug into the first 4 chapters of the DataWise book, you've seen data is more than some stupid grade. I'm sorry if that word offends you. Some stupid grade assigned by the state, some VAM score, whatever it is. Data is there to help you drive instruction, to help you fix areas where kids are having concerns or struggles, to really focus in on what needs to be done. And we're going to spend some time looking at these data sets, the first one this week, and talking about it. So whether you come at July 11th or July 15th does not matter. I'm going to keep a tally of who's been there to make sure you've shown up. And then you're going to submit like a paragraph or 2 summary of what you took away from that particular data chat. And that's going to be your assignment, and there's a place in week 3 to post that. Obviously, you can't do it until we have already discussed it. And this is an open-ended assignment. So unlike the discussion forums and the WCG assignments, this one, the data chat, is an open piece. You can submit it by the end of the term, and I can still grade it for you. But again, you're doing like a 1 or 2 paragraph summary of what you learned, what you picked up. So that's the data chats. And again, just like we did for the sample test data chat online, if I get everything working fine when we're in Ireland, which I'm hoping, fingers crossed, is going to happen for us, I will send you an email link. Now that first one on July 11th is going to come up pretty late for you guys and really late for me. So I'm looking at the times right now with you, and you guys should have them. And that time is going to be 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which will be midnight my time. It's okay, don't worry. The sun doesn't set around here very early. I'll be up doing that data chat with you on July 11th. That is Wednesday of next week. And then if you don't want to do that one, you want to do it on Sunday. Sunday's 5 p.m. your time, and that'll be 10 p.m. my time here in the British Isles. So that's going to be those data chat times, and about 15 minutes ahead of time, I'm going to set the data chat up. I'm going to send you guys an email link, and then you can log in like we did last time during the sample chat. And we're going to talk for about 20 or 30 minutes, and that's because this program we're using, which while it's free and it works great, you're limited to 40 minutes of chat time. So we're going to make sure we talk 20 to 30 minutes and say our goodbyes. I'll check off who's been there, and then you'll go about your way doing your summary piece for that. That's really it for the assignments for week 3. I am going to talk a little bit about Leverage Leadership Chapter 1 and what's in it. But before I do that, I do want to remind you of the upcoming WCG assignments. And what I want to try and do is look at WCG number 3 with you, which is going to be that John Hattie research paper. It's not due until July 30th. I know that's still a ways away, but I do want you preparing for it. And when you look at the rubric, which should be on the right-hand side of the portal for you, right-hand side, you're going to see that you're actually doing some research on John Hattie's work and how effect size relates to student achievement. And you've got to pick 7 or more examples of how he did that. That's number 1. Number 2, you got to make sure to describe how each this work could impact your role as a future leader. You got to describe each. And then number 3, you've got to have that APA piece, and it's got to be a 5-page summary. So really, it's a 2-part assignment. Part 1, you're talking all about John Hattie's work, those 7 pieces. And then number 2, you're talking about how it affects you and how it's going to affect you as a leader. This ties right into all the data work we're doing. Everything in this course comes back to how you use data effectively to improve and drive instruction you're building, not as a penalty. And that's the one thing I do want to focus on, ladies and gentlemen, is that it's not a penalty data. Scores are not a penalty. If a teacher's struggling in one area, we have to be able to help them pinpoint that and fix that area. If a teacher's really good in one area, we have to get them to help others. And one of the things that I'm working with the area superintendent I work with on is just, you've got a school out by you that they're like top 3 in the state every year. And why is that? And why are they an A school every year? And I said, well, they're an A school every year because they have some of the best prepared kids for school. Their kids come from a well-to-do background. I live in a wealthier area. I work my tail off to get there. But, I live in a wealthy area where kids are supported by their parents in school. I know many of you work in our Title I schools. I spent most of my career there. Not the same thing. But the big key here about this data piece is understanding that the reason this particular school is top 3 in the state every year is because its administration drives the teachers to drive the school. How many of you know of a school in your district that gets A's every year, not because they have the best teachers or the best administration? I know many in my district, many that get A's because of who the kids are and not because of what the teachers do. So that's something I want you to think about that's really important. You keep it in perspective. If you remember, I spoke about keeping data in perspective during the week 1 discussion forum. And that's that thing I want you to think about is how we keep data in perspective and realize it's not an end-all be-all, but it's there to help us drive instruction. All right, last thing tonight in this video is all about Leverage Leadership Chapter 1. And guess what it's about? Data-driven instruction. What I've just been talking about for the last 5 minutes of this video. It's all about you finding ways to set up a data-driven instruction in your school. It gives you some models. It talks about a roadmap to rigor. It talks about things that you're going to look at and how to really take tests and look at them and not see that this is one. But most importantly, the second half of the chapter is the most important piece. It talks about walking the walk. Things you have to do and be able to do to get to get your staff on board. It talks about how to get people to follow you. And that's something that we talked about in law a little bit. You've talked about it in many other classes. Relationships are a huge piece. When you sit down and talk data together, and that's one of the reasons why we're doing a data chat together ourselves, is I wanted to give you guys a chance to model that with me of something you're going to do when you have a school and you're the AP or the principal. So that's a really important piece of Chapter 1, Leverage Leadership, a real building piece. The last thing I want to talk about coming up in week 4 is the midterm exam. I know, where is this class going? I realize that. I'm already a week into my vacation, and like I said, on Tuesday, we're heading to Ireland. We've been in Scotland for 4 or 5 days now. We were in London for 4 days, and now we're heading off to Ireland for the better part of a week. And so the midterm exam is covering only what we do through week 3. It's only data-wise chapters 1 to 4 and leverage leadership chapter 1. That's it. Everything else will be on the final exams. That's all you got to worry about reviewing. And I believe somewhere I have a study guide. And if not, I know a best study guide for you. Number 1, the chapter outlines that I've posted on the portal for you. Number 2, the discussion forums, the information in there has information for you. And those things are going to help you with that piece. So my job right now is I'm going to try and go ahead and get this video finalized and posted and get it out to you tonight because it's going beyond 11 minutes. But before that, this is one of the many rooms in this house. My wife found this place. She's fantastic. Home Away is what we used. It is a 5-bedroom house, sleeps 12 people. There's 9 of us here. It's got 4 bathrooms. It's got 8 bazillion rooms, and it was built in the 1780s. So it's this really neat historic house. The front door is huge. You could fit like 3 people through there at the same time. But this room we've affectionately called the couch room, and that's why I came in here. And I'm going to show you that it is the couch room because there is couch after couch after couch after couch. And so we call it the couch room, nice place to relax and get things done. And then this is the front looking out, and there's actually, believe it or not, a golf course right across the street from where we are, and a short walk down to the river is there as well, which is really neat. So that's it for tonight, guys. I'm going to go ahead and get this one taken care of and posted for you, and I will be in touch real soon. Look for another email from me on Monday. I'm going to email you before I head to bed that night to let you know if we can or cannot do data chat email is going to be on Tuesday. Pardon me, guys. Email Tuesday about the data chat on Wednesday. So y'all have a great night, a great rest of your evening, and I will talk to you soon.